welcome back to my channel. If you have never seen my face before, my name is Loren. I attend High Point University and I am a rising sophomore. And so welcome to the summer vlogs. During the summer is just a great time for me to unwind and just do things I want to do and do a lot more videos for you guys. And as requested, you guys had questions about just like some general High Point questions, and I told you guys to post them on my Instagram or whatever, or DM me them, and so I'm gonna answer a couple of them. I am just driving, so I thought this would be a perfect time just to kind of chat with you guys a little bit more about HPU and just to answer some of the questions you guys have. But before we hop into this video, make sure you subscribe down below and like and comment on this video. So one of the main questions I've got was, how do I stay organized? How do I keep my GPA up and all of that? And I definitely want to do a separate video of that. I know one of the YouTubers I watched, she made a video on like how to achieve a 4.0 in college, and so she kind of listed out like the 10 things that she does. So I really want to do that. Oh, okay, cars just kind of prime. So one of the main questions is it hard getting into High Point University? So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I did. And to answer the question, I don't really know like if it's that hard. A lot of people I've met people who are like super smart and had the scores and had X, Y, and Z. But then I've also met people like who didn't necessarily have the scores. That didn't necessarily have the scores, but they had like the community service, and they just had like a lot of extracurriculars and stuff like that. So personally, I did the option where it was to not include my test scores, test optional, that's what it was. Even though I did get like a 25 on my ACT, I just chose not to use my test scores because I was like, is 25 even high enough and all that. And my GPA was like a 3.8, so my GPA was pretty high, and my extracurricular activities was like as long as my arm, like stemming all the way from 9th grade all the way to 12th grade. And I had over, I want to say like 500 or 600 community service hours in high school. So no, never mind, hold on. No, I probably had over like 1,000 community service hours. So I had a lot of community service hours, and I put that all on my application. And I think I applied to High Point with the Common app. I think that's correct. If not, it was the other one. I know there's two. But, so like I said, you know, I applied, and also I did not apply early decision. I applied early action, which means that I still get somewhat priority. I think early decision, the deadline is like you'll hear something back by October, and then with early action, I heard something back right around Christmas time, so like middle of December. And so, you know, when it's given to those admission people's hands, like I don't know what they look at in particular. I don't really know anyone in admissions to ask them that question, but I wouldn't I don't know, just looking at it, I wouldn't consider it harder than another school to get into, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think it's all based on scores. I do not think it's all based on extracurricular activities. I think it's a culmination of all of that. And also I think it is depending on your location. I have heard that at some schools the admission will cap how many people from like each state. And I know a majority of the people that go to High Point University are either from North Carolina, or they're from like up north somewhere, or they're from like California. So they definitely recruit more in those states. But I have met a lot of people that attend High Point University, and they are from North Carolina, South Carolina. So I don't know if that helps and that answers your question, but I can't really say is it hard to get into because I'm just, you know, I'm not a part of the admissions process. But I definitely know it is easier to get into High Point University if you are a transfer student. Any college, first off, loves transfer students, and I know High Point loves transfer students. Another question is, like, how are the parties? I don't party, but that's just a personal choice of mine. I have heard that the parties are pretty lit, you know. But also on any campus, it is just very safe to always go with the buddy. Make sure that you guys have organized who's a DD, the designated driver. And also what's kind of different at High Point is that a lot of our parties take place on campus or on student housing, because they don't want you going to parties out in the city and things of that nature, simply because if something was to happen to you and you were to, you know, pass out or whatever, we can call High Point security. And if you're on High Point's property, you know, they of course will take care of you, versus if you were at a party somewhere else in Greensboro or High Point and you have to wait on medic and all of that. So a lot of people I met, they do personally go to parties on campus, but a good bit of people go to them off campus. Another question is, how is the community of High Point? If we're being honest, there's like not that much to do in the city of High Point. Like, there's no mall. I think there's like one movie theater. There's like shopping centers, of course. But if you really want to do something and, you know, go to the malls, there are restaurants in High Point. But like, if you really want to have that kind of nightlife, go to the malls, go to clubs, go to big movie theaters and have that sort of vibe, then I would definitely recommend going to Greensboro or Winston-Salem. Greensboro from High Point is probably about 20 to 30 minutes, just depending on where you're going, and Winston-Salem from High Point are probably about 20 to 30 minutes, just depending on where you're going also. And so in High Point, it is definitely a college city. You know, the college is the main thing sustaining the city. Most people in the community work at the college. And there's just not that much to do in High Point, which is fine. But if you're looking for, you know, night out and all that, I would definitely recommend going to Greensboro or Winston-Salem. Another question I've gotten asked a lot of times is, how is the car situation and how is the parking? Just because I know in a lot of my vlogs, I complain about the parking at High Point. So at High Point, you are allowed to bring 2 cars for free. It's included in your tuition. I only have one. So you get a parking pass and you get a little parking sticker to put on your windshield. And then with that, you just check in every morning. You just go in to make sure they know, like, you're a High Point student. The parking is a mess, but it just depends on what time your classes are. So if you're staying on campus, and as you guys know, like, I'm a commuter, so I complain a little bit more about parking versus like my other friends that stay on campus, because they can just park their car for the day. But as a commuter, like, when I had 750s, parking was a breeze. I would get there about 7:20. Of course, you know, that early in the morning, not that many people are on campus. Now, when I want to say class was at 11:40, parking was a problem, because a lot of people either had that 11:40 class or they had been there since their 9:40 class. And I've never had a class after, so I don't know. This semester I have a class at 12:05, so I will be getting to campus about 11:50. So we'll see how parking goes, but it just depends on also what parking lot you're parking in. Like, if you don't care about walking and you have in your schedule, you know, time to walk 10 to 15 minutes, then you by all means can park on, like lot A and then the back parking lot. But if you like pulling into class, you got 5 minutes, sometimes you will not find parking. There have been days where I did not want to walk in the lot A and the back lot, and I've circled and circled and circled, and eventually someone will leave, or you'll walk up to somebody and like, hey, are you about to leave? And they might be leaving. But parking is a mess. I know a lot of people have complained, like, you know, they want more parking and all of that, but we'll see if it happens. But also, if push comes to shove, you can park on, like, not on the main campus, on like student housing, and just walk, but that's still like kind of a walk. Or you can take the trolley, but I personally, I just don't take the trolley for some reason. I don't know, I just don't. But there is a trolley or a bus shuttle that'll take you around campus and stuff. So, or that will pick you up from off-campus housing also, so you could leave your car. The food options at High Point, pretty good. You know, we have 2 Starbucks, we have a Chick-fil-A, Subway, we have a farmer's market, which is pretty much like vegan, all natural. And then we have the regular calf, which is, you know, like regular food else. They are building another restaurant in the conservatory, but I don't know what that is. I want to say it might be Chinese, but don't take my word for that. What else do we have? And then we have Silver Diner, which is an on-campus diner, but you can use your regular meal swipes there. And we have Jamba Juice. Love Jamba Juice. Love Jamba. And then we have The Point, which is like a Buffalo Wild Wing sort. And then we have Good Day Bakery, which is like Panera. And I love it there. They're really, really good. But, you know, just when you're on campus, like a lot of times you just get tired of campus food, and that's anywhere, any campus. Every kid I've talked to, they've said that there comes a point where you get tired of on-campus food, and of course you're going off campus. So shopping around campus, as far as like looking for essentials, we do have like 2 or 3 mini marts. You know, you can get cereal, you can get milk, you can get toilet paper and all that, but they're super duper expensive. But there is a Walmart and stuff, maybe about 10 minutes away, not even, right near where I work. So about like a 10-minute drive. And of course you can go there to stock up on everything. But also a shuttle goes to Walmart and Target. I want to say like I think last semester it was like every Monday at like 5:30, and they would come back at 7:30, which is really, really, really nice, because some people just don't have cars, or they don't want to waste their gas and all of that. Another good question is, did I like how small my classes were? My classes were fairly small. I think the most kids I've had in a class, I think it was 1 to 20, and the smallest was 1 to 15, 1 to 11. I need to look. I need to make sure. But they were fairly small. I personally came from a high school and middle school where that was the norm for me, so I never felt like, oh, there's not a lot of kids. You definitely do become friends, or not necessarily even friends, but you do become associates with your classmates because it is smaller, and I think that is also the intention. I think you definitely do get to have more of a connection versus if we were in classes of like 60, 70, 100, 200. So that's definitely a difference, and that's something that I like. And all my professors, I got to know them. There's only been like there's only been one professor that I like didn't really hit it off with, but all my other professors, like, I'm so cool with them. You get to grow these connections with your professors, which is something that I love. I definitely do love the fact that when you go to a smaller school, you are able to make those connections. And well, I'm about to pull up to my stop, but one of the last questions is talk more about size of the school. So the school is fairly small but big at the same time. I mean, compared to like UNCG, it's small, but compared to other schools, it's big. It's definitely very spacious on campus, so you never feel like claustrophobic, like, oh, I'm in this little campus. In the freshman class that I was in, the class of 2022, I want to say it was like 1,200 students, was around 1,600 freshmen in the class of 2023, and in the class of 2018, only like 1,000 had graduated. So we're gaining about 600 more, but of course, you know, some people leave, some people transfer, some people drop out. So we are gaining a bit more, but that's just super exciting. A lot of people are like, do you see the same faces around campus? I honestly do. Like, I'll see some of the same faces. Sometimes you'll just run into people that you've had class and be like, oh, hey. And I know at other schools that might not be the case. But I am home. I want to thank you guys so much for just asking questions on my Instagram. I love just chatting with you guys about my experience at High Point and just giving y'all some insider information. So if you have any more questions, please leave them down below. I'll do another one of these videos. I think it'd be cool to do these like once a month or something. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.